Hello everyone, and welcome back to Smith's Garage, or welcome to Smith's Garage, I don't know. This video is just a continuation of the spring fix-up thing I was doing at the beginning, during spring. I was getting the car ready for the summer. I ended up stopping recording fully because I had a bunch of problems that I don't know, I guess I was kind of embarrassed, so I didn't feel like recording all of them, so I just want to tie up all my loose ends because I want to get back into recording. And I actually have a really good carburetor tune-up video that's in line, as well as I took my car to the track. So I want to make a video about that, tell you about my quarter-mile times and what I've done. So that's all fun stuff to come. But in this video, I'm going to start off by making a little table of content so you can skip to whatever story you want to hear, because just as a warning, this is going to be a lot of me talking about things that have happened in the past and storytelling. So if you don't want to listen to me ramble, just tune off now. This video is mostly for me, if anything, because I want to get it off my chest. So gonna start off by saying, yeah, the title of this video is correct. I caught my car on fire. And yeah, it was decently large too. So talk about that. I'm gonna tell you about my alternator charging system because I got it all perfectly fixed up and nice. I have this little trick for carburetor wing nuts. I don't know if you guys end up losing yours all the time, but I was losing mine, so I fixed that. And I got some nice new wiper arms on the car that took me a little while to put in, so I'll show you those. The CER Trust Bar, I don't know how to pronounce that one, but I've heard it pronounced both ways. That is the main reason why I didn't post for so long, because I ordered it wrong, which I'll tell you about. I guess I'll start off with that actually to explain why I haven't been recording in so long. Oh, and before I put that table of content away, I got drag slicks on the car and I've been racing it at Mission Raceway, so I'll tell you, that's more of a teaser to some upcoming videos, so I'll just tell you about that at the very end. But yeah, I'll start off with that CER Trust Bar. I was having a problem. I was calling it engine drooping or engine shaking because when I would pin it, my engine would sink right down. Other people were telling me to call it wheel hop. There's a bunch of names. I don't really care what name it is. I just know it's a problem and something's gonna break if I keep driving the car that hard. So I ordered a CER Trust Bar system for that. I ordered it from this place called Cool Rides Customs. Amazing website, by the way. I highly recommend. They have very good, high quality parts. I was really happy with them. Except for the fact that I had spent so long working through these parts, just tuning them up a little for how I wanted them in the car, painting them, getting them all ready to go, just to realize that I ordered the wrong ones. There's literally two options that you can buy. Two. You can buy 1953 to 1960 or 1960 and later. My smart self ordered 1953 to 1960 because for some reason I just was like, oh, mine's 60 and old, so I assumed 60 and older. Well, no, that wasn't this one. So when I was putting everything together, all my geometry was off. But on the bright side, I realized that all the bracketry was very similar. I just needed to cut and weld them to be different angles, which was hard to figure out. But with a lot of tack welding and then undoing and then re-tack welding, I ended up getting it all together. And it looks pretty sick underneath of there, actually. I really like the way it looks. And I was gonna make a video talking about the fact that I did that and it was embarrassing and how I fixed it. But then when I got it all in, I excitedly took my car out and did a good couple launches, and I was looking at my little recording from the back and the engine still dropped up and down like crazy. So I just was like, okay, well, that was pointless and that was a lot of time out of my life. So I kind of just wanted to forget about it. So, but now at least I know that there's some more support underneath there, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, there's my little shameful story about why I haven't been posting in so long. It was just a little disheartening, I guess. But yeah. I guess I'll move on to the story about how I literally caught the car on fire, which delayed all this even more, I guess. Sorry for talking so much. This is just, as I said, it's gonna be storytelling. So yeah, I caught the car on fire. What happened was, from the beginning, I'll sum this up as fast as I can. My brake light stopped working. The turn signals worked, both sides. Running lights worked, both sides in the back. But when I pushed my foot on the brake, nothing would light up. So I thought maybe the little cable off the solenoid in the front unplugged. So I jacked the front of the car up, looked around underneath of there, didn't see anything, called it a night, went inside. Next morning I woke up, opened up the garage door, and I just smelled pure gas in this garage. And what I learned was that not only my carburetor had a problem on one side, but when you lift the front of a Beetle up, the gas tank's in the front, and all your gas, if your carburetor float sinks and lets all the gas out, then your fuel all siphons out through the back of the car and onto the ground. So that was crazy, and I opened up all the doors, let everything evaporate outside. I think I definitely lost a few brain cells in that process. But what I realized was, in order for it to be actually like coming out of the engine, it had to have filled up inside of the engine. So that meant that my engine was just right flooded. And if it was flooded and then sat like that, it most likely got past my rings and mixed into my oil. So sure enough, I pulled the dipstick, my oil was way higher than it should be and smelled like gas. So I had to do a huge oil change, pull out the plugs to let everything just dry out. And so everything was about to be ready to go, and I thought it'd be smart to just turn over my engine. This was after letting it sit for like a full day. I thought it'd be smart to turn over my engine, just get every last bit of gas out while the spark plugs were out. And I didn't even have the spark plugs connected. It was just the ends of the coil wire. In hindsight, I should have disconnected the coil fully, but I turned it over and just huge, I saw it in the rear view just light up, this huge flame, because I guess the tar board had absorbed the gas, so the fumes were still very present, which is crazy. This huge flame was just running up through the column of the car. It was this tall. It singed all the paint. It singed all my lines. I ended up getting it out fairly quick, but I did not have a fire extinguisher handy. I just was throwing rags at it. It could have very well been the end of this car, like altogether. It was a miracle I actually got that flame out. So, kind of shit my pants, and yeah. So that was a very big problem that I had to get fixed. So yeah, I caught the car on fire. But moving on, the alternator charging system. That was a fun little problem once I figured out what the problem was. But for quick backstory, I went through 2 alternators on this car because I thought the alternators were broken, but I ended up just learning that it was me who wired the car that was the problem. I had this little test light that has an incandescent bulb in it. And every time I was using that to look at the system to see what circuits were complete, then I had a voltmeter on there. Every time the test light was on there, the alternator would start charging, and I was so confused until I had this one commenter tell me that in my dash, where my actual warning light is, that's LED. They do not draw any power at all, really, like just the tiniest bit of power. It's not enough to tell the alternator to start charging the system because it's an excitement charging system, as I've heard to it referred a couple times. So what I did was I bought a little incandescent bulb, and I have it wired up under in the front. I have a little socket with a little bulb, so then if the bulb burns out, you can switch it out. And I know you can't really see it from very well in there, but I just know that that's what's making the alternator now charge the car. Which is it's just a crazy system to me. Some people it probably makes me sound like I'm stupid, but I don't know. I'm learning things all the time. So I also just cut the one that goes to my speedo because I don't even want to look at it. It didn't work properly. It literally worked the opposite. It would be on when it was charging and then off when it wasn't. Like if the key was just in the on position, the light would stay off. It made no sense, so I just cut it because now I know it's charging the car. So, yeah. Sorry for rambling so much. This video is mostly just for me to catch up. The next little thing that was actually quite interesting that I fixed was the wing nuts, which again, I know nobody probably has this problem but me, but I'm actually just a little bit proud of my idea that I had. All I did was drill 2 little holes in the wing nuts that were facing each other, and then I used a little pen spring to connect them together. And I did that because I kept opening up I'd get to my destination, and I would open my engine compartment, just look around, make sure everything was good. This is when I first finished the car, because I was worried things were gonna be like loosening off. Like I had this pulley nut come off a couple times, but I would open it up and make sure everything was all good, and I'd be missing my stupid wing nuts because they'd all rattle off. That's why I did that. And then I also fixed the front wipers. Well, not fixed, but I had these black ones that I didn't like as much. I put these silvers ones on that look much nicer. They suit the vibe of the car a lot better. So that's why I did that. And then lastly, just a tease to the next few videos that are coming, but I have a awesome carburetor tuning video that I'm gonna be making, or I already made it actually. It's a good video. I also got these awesome drag slicks on the car, which I will tell you more about when I make the video about taking this car to the track, which is very exciting. I found myself racing more and more. I'm down by Mission Raceway in the lower mainland of BC, so that's where I've been going. But yeah, I'm not gonna tell you the quarter-mile time yet, because that would be spoilers to the video to come. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see, if you really made it to the end of this video, I'm impressed, because I wouldn't watch me sit here and talk like this the whole time, so yeah. I'm probably gonna get some comments saying this video was just useless, but I kind of like storytelling, so thank you for listening to me if you made it all the way here. That's pretty cool. See you guys in the next video.